24th, and a ring was seen attached to one of the legs with some numbers on it. Some called it a coded message.
Others called it a pigeon.
Authorities are trying to decipher the messages. Pigeons have been used for espionage in this disputed region in the past. Meanwhile, the BBC reports that the Pakistani man Habibullah.
At 8, I was diagnosed a disaster, an incurable catastrophe, an unrepentant shit disturber. I was the kid you did not want in your class. You know, the one who couldn't sit still, couldn't do the drill, didn't fit the bill, never would, never will, until I got the chill pill. Ritalin. Now we're fitting in, paying attention, listening better than it's been. Let's not pretend it's a solution. It's not. Just the best we got because the system shot. Having attention deficit hyperactivity disorder is like living inside a violently disobedient clock. Seconds slowing into forever. Then jumping into overdrive. Warp 8, warp 9, warp 10. Mr. Scott, I need more. Aye, Captain, but I'm afraid she'll blow. Having ADHD is like being an exclamation mark in a world of commas. It's telling the cop, go f*** yourself. Because the dial on my rage diminisher is malfunctioning. It's tuning out my wife who's sitting right in front of me. Because the fly on the ceiling is walking backwards. And I forgot to call my mom, who was a terrible cook, but I didn't care. I ate so fast, food barely touched my taste buds. I don't know why they call them buds anyway. It's not like they become flowers, or friends, or beer. I remember the first time I took Ritalin. My mental merry-go-round began to slow down, and everyone suddenly started speaking human. But by then, I found my own ways to cope. I went to 5 different high schools, failed every class except gym, drama, and dope smoking. Math was like studying advanced theoretical Klingon, like bungee jumping off the back of a pickup truck. I still don't speak numbers. My adolescent mind was a paper plane in the palm of a hurricane. And ultimately, the only thing school ever taught me was that I wasn't good enough to make the grade. I know my attention fluctuates, but when love calls my name, I focus like the Hubble. I can see God's fingerprints on every flower petal. I remember the cut, color, and texture of that dress you wore the day we met, the saline sweetness of your sweat, and every switchback curve in your beautiful smile. You say living with me is like having a Swedish death metal band in the basement and a drunk kangaroo in the bedroom. But although I can't sit still for more than 3 minutes, I still see forever in your eyes. And though sometimes I don't pay attention, I know exactly how much this love is worth. The world disdains the distracted mind. They prefer us focused on our flat screens, too terrified to imagine a world without drones, war zones, or corporate prisons. But my mind is full of visions so breathtakingly beautiful. My God, I wish you could see them too. I may never be
Normal.
But what is normal in a world of infinite variety? And in the quiet backwaters of my mind, I know I am not damaged.
Just different.
And isn't being different
the one thing we all have in common? Oh, welcome, motherfuckers. Kevin got the jump on me there. Yeah. That does not surprise me. Yep, you should sound pretty good, and so should I.
Well, you sounding good is the surprise.
Thanks, Kevin.
Sound great.
It was just a cable.
Just the cable.
Yeah, wow. It was just a cable that I just want to fucking murder.
Your color looks pretty good on your screen, too. There, it looks better.
Okay. Yours, wow, yours looks terrible. What the hell? Your camera's wrong, too. This is what happens when nothing happens for like 2 weeks. What's up? Yeah, I'll print it again. Anyway, yep, bit of a shit show today. Phones are up, 984-664-2723. Skype is also working, or at least it should be working. Son of a bitch, god damn it, motherfucker. Can I just start by saying that if you are over the age of, I don't know, somebody who doesn't know how to use a pair of headphones, you should be like categorically not allowed to operate a Zoom device in any way, shape, or form. I don't care if it's your phone. I don't like, none of that matters. It should be completely and totally illegal for you to operate a Zoom in any capacity. What do you think, Kevin?
Sure. Zoom is not the easiest platform for people, and as far as older folks, you're just jumping down the rabbit hole.
It's also not a hard one. Like, they do a lot in software. The problem is, like, I mean, this is like as old as time. I mean, maybe I'm just wrong about this, but I feel
but it doesn't
like,
just work like FaceTime works,
well, it's pretty stinking close.
or like Facebook chat or whatever. It doesn't just work like that. Like,
I mean, I
Zoom
guess
takes a little bit of effort.
It takes a little bit of effort, but I mean, the reason that it became the standard is exactly because it's easy.
What? The Zoom?
The problem is that
Is that on my TV or my computer?
I mean, like, at the end of the day, here's what pisses me off about it. I'm convinced that anytime anybody has like decided that they don't need to learn something in order to use it, they're fucked.
Does it work with Windows 98?
So advertisers basically like lie to you, right? They lie to you and they tell you, well, you don't need to know anything about this thing in order to make it work. Have fun with that. And people just go, oh, it's great. I don't have to know anything about anything in order to use this thing. And then they're fucked. That's all I have to say about that. But like, it makes me fucking crazy. Like, where else in this whole world do you have to know nothing in order to do something? I can't think of anything aside from, like, I don't know, losing money maybe. Like, I mean, where else, Kevin? Any ideas?
Sure.
You have ideas?
No
No ideas.
No idea.
Okay. Anyway, today is June the 23rd and 2020. And Kevin did what any responsible American would do in the face of a pandemic. He went to Las Vegas.
Hey, I wore masks. It's open.
Right.
Ain't no law against it.
In Vegas, that's not the standards bearer for like a good idea.
What now?
Vegas is not the standards bearer for what is a good idea.
Well, see, we went and it was like Sunday through Thursday and there was fucking no one anywhere and we could completely distance and do all that shit. By the time Friday rolled around, there was way too many fucking people in town. And then we pretty much just stayed in the hotel. Oh, we went to the pinball place and then we went to the hotel room. Pinball place was dead as fuck.
Huh.
But Pinball Hall of Fame, Las Vegas, is awesome. All of the proceeds go to the Salvation Army, which is amazing.
I mean, did somebody just spend their whole life collecting pinball machines?
Yes, and he made a whole bunch of money in the 70s and 80s doing that. And so, like,
he made money collecting pinball machines?
Well, yeah, I mean, he would rent them out and put them places, and he had an arcade and blah, blah, blah. And, like, it said he and his brother would take 5-gallon buckets of quarters to the bank.
That's a lot of money.
And think about how much it weighs. Like, you know about your rude payment. Like, how much would a 5-gallon bucket of quarters weigh?
Well, and the crazy part about the rude payment was those were just dollars. How much money was that? I don't remember. I want to say it was around, it was like $1,800 or $2,200, something like that. And we actually ended up using all of the $1 bills in the whole bank. And it still wasn't enough. So like they ended up saying, well, sorry, we don't have any more ones.
So anyway, he made all his money in the 80s and he didn't want to sell his machines for nothing. And so he retired to Las Vegas and had a bunch of people over to his house for parties, and parties got bigger and bigger and bigger. And it ended up to where he had 2,000 people at his house over a weekend. And he was like, dude, fuck this shit. So he had the idea to make the Pinball Hall of Fame, and it's completely nonprofit and it's all of his machines, and they walk around and fix them all day. And then so the building that they're in now is the second building, and they're going to move into a new third building that's going to have 450 tables in it.
which is
if
like
you're doing the math, he still has a good 700 tables.
yeah,
just
which
sitting
is
there.
not a small number of pinball machines.
No, and even 150 is a lot. And like all of the games that I get to play on my pinball arcade game for PS4, the virtual one, I don't know if I've showed you that before, but it's cool. He had almost all of those in real working tables. That was fucking sweet.
That's pretty impressive.
And then there was machines from like 1920 all the way through 2020. Like the brand new Iron Maiden machine that just came out, and the X-Men machine. Both of those are Stern machines. And it looks like Stern donates to him and Gottlieb donates to him, and like that's awesome, right? Like long live the pinball there.
Oh yeah.
And like all of these machines are in working condition, and like you can play them all, and they're all the original price.
So a nickel if it was a nickel, a quarter
Yes.
if it was a quarter.
Yes. 50 cents if it was 50 cents. And then the new ones are like 75 cents each, which is cheaper than any other place I've seen. Usually a brand new machine's $1, you know? So
Fuck that. I'm sorry. That's entirely too much money.
And any of the machines you can set to more balls, he's done it. So like if you can set it to 5 balls, he's got it on there.
Huh.
Yeah, it's pretty sick. And then I'm pretty sure he turned all the knockers off. So like when you hit the high score on a pinball machine, it makes this big loud knocking sound.
Okay.
And it's so everybody can know that you just beat the high score, right?
Oh.
And then it gives you a replay. But I'm pretty sure since I got a couple replays and I didn't hear any knocks, he's turned them all off, which is amazing. Because like if you have that many knocks going off at the same time, it's fucking annoying.
I bet.
And I bet like since most of the time he's still sitting there working on machines, he's got this whole section where he's working on shit. He doesn't want to hear that. You know, he's like, fuck that. We'll just turn these knockers off. And then so a lot of the machines, if you can buy a color screen for them, he's done that. And he's put in the new toys if people make them. There's people in Albuquerque that make them called Mezzle mods that make little toys for the games. And like, it's fucking cool, man. All the aliens worked on Attack from Mars, you know? So like when the aliens come out, you got like 8 little aliens jiggling like that. You're supposed to kill them with the pinball. Fucking sweet, you know?
That is pretty cool.
And then he's got another 50 arcade games, and then a machine that plays another 350 arcade games, I think. It's called the Multicade.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's basically a MAME machine, but I'm pretty sure it's probably got a license, you know? But you can play 350 of the most popular arcade games of the time, you know, Dig Dug and Donkey Kong, and he's got everything on there.
Huh.
Very cool.
I mean, sounds pretty cool to me. It sounds like it was the highlight of the whole trip.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And then they had a Street Fighter 2 pinball machine, which I've never seen before.
That I don't even know how you would do that.
And so you hit different targets, and it says that you killed Balrog or you killed Dalsim, and then you have to kill Ryu and blah, blah, blah. And if you hit all the targets, then I'm assuming, you know, you fight the boss and you hit the jackpot. But I did not kill all the targets. I did play a little bit, though. It's hilarious hearing the machine talk because, like, the voices are different than the Street Fighter 2 game.
That's freaking wild.
Yeah, it's weird. And, like, Chun-Li talks and stuff. It's like, whoa, what the hell is that?
Let's see. So here's the Street Fighter 2 pinball machine.
Right.
And, oh, look at that. I'm going to leave the audio off because I don't want to throw copyright.
And see, the one he had different back art on it.
Huh.
His was like Street Fighter 2 Turbo Pinball or something.
I don't know.
His had a different back glass, but it's probably the same game.
Yeah. How do we know it's this year's model? Oh, it's easy. They changed the vinyl in the back.
He was missing Centaur, but I bet you the guy owns it.
Son of a bitch, that's loud. Your son better have something to say.
Oh, is he calling?
I'm pretty sure.
All right.
ADHD.
Hello.
Hello?
Hello.
Hello?
Yes.
You're talking about pinball.
Yeah.
Dude, you remember the Lethal Weapon pinball machine? That was my favorite from childhood.
I don't ever remember the lethal. Do you, Kevin?
I think so. And it had a gun like the Terminator machine, right?
Yeah, it had a gun like the Terminator machine.
Mm-hmm.
Although, if you're going Terminator, I'm going to have to go with the shooting arcade. I think that's a hell of a lot better.
Oh yeah, no, I'm totally with you
I
there.
think they had that at like Yellow Duck or somewhere.
I think that might be.
There was another one I was playing
Right?
this weekend that had a gun on it.
My favorite of all time was the Addams Family pinball.
It was GoldenEye pinball.
GoldenEye pinball?
Yeah, that was pretty cool, and it played all the James Bond sounds and stuff.
Oh, by the way, this is not Kevin's son. It's my brother. For those of you who are wondering.
Oh, hello, other Kevin.
Yes,
What's up?
it's K squared this time.
One more and we're a hate crime.
That's right. That's right. You are 1K short of a hate crime.
So you would dig this Pinball Hall of Fame
Now-
place, and especially let's wait till they move into the bigger building and they've got the 450 tables, and I bet you that fucking Lethal
All right,
Weapon
the
machine
crucial
will be
question,
there.
though. Does he have a physical version of the Windows Arcade pinball machine? That's the most important pinball machine in the world.
I don't believe I saw that, but he might own it in his collection because the dude has over 1,100 tables.
Does it exist? Did they make one?
I'm looking.
I don't know, man.
That would be amazing.
You know what I'm talking about? The one from, you remember there's like Chips Challenge and shit, and then there was like the pinball machine right next to it. Windows Arcade.
Why Microsoft dropped
Everybody
3D
had it.
pinball from Windows Arcade. Is this an actual pinball table you're referring to?
No, this is like the one that came with like every computer.
Yeah, 3D pinball.
for,
That's
I
what
don't
you're
know,
talking
10
about.
years or something.
Yes, 3D
Yeah,
pinball.
yeah, 3D pinball. Space Cadet.
Yes. No, that was some epic shit. In fact,
Right? It didn't really change very much. It wasn't like some, like a modern pinball machine is like pretty dynamic. This one was, it's kind of static, but it was the one that everybody played. This and like Ski Free. Remember that where you like get to the very bottom and then there's a monster?
yes. And in fact, here it is. Oh, look at that. Who could forget that shitty pinball goodness? That 3D pinball with those crack graphics. Oh man, I definitely remember 3D pinball, but I don't think mine ever looked that good. Like that is a
Oh yeah, this is like an updated version. This was not.
No, somebody
This is how
vectorized this. This is like not the same thing.
Well, yeah, no, this is totally different. They've added like a new one in.
Let's see.
This is some usurper.
Fucking faker.
This is not the.
That's
not
from Pinball
the true
Arcade.
Windows pinball.
All right, let's see.
That's the Terminator machine from Pinball Arcade.
Star
That's
Trek,
Star
let's
Trek
see.
from Pinball Arcade.
Windows 3D pinball.
And so you can see why I like the Pinball Arcade game, because they recreate these old tables.
There it is, Space Cadet. Fuck yes.
Oh, there's the piece of shit.
Look at
right
that.
there.
Look at that motherfucker. Oh, look at those stunning 16-bit graphics. I would expect nothing less from a Sega Genesis or a $2,000 computer at the time.
Exactly. This is like Windows 95. In fact, I think it was Windows 95 was when this debuted, and it probably stuck around for XP or something like that.
I don't know. I'm trying to remember, because I mean, the games that we got, like the first Windows Arcade that you and I got, Kay, was Windows 3.1. But that was like Minesweeper. It wasn't even called Windows Arcade at the time. I don't think they actually had Windows Arcade until Windows 95.
And it was like a special add-on thing, right? Like it didn't come with it. I think we had to get it ourselves.
Yeah, we had to
Like,
figure
I
out how
think
to
Dad
pirate
paid
it.
for it.
He paid for it?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, I think this was like before we figured out all the piracy stuff.
I don't know. I had this game.
Yarg.
Kevin, you had every game.
Yeah, no, I think everyone did.
I'm pretty sure you could just it came with Windows 95, I think.
No.
Oh yeah, no, he's talking about like with the Chips Challenge. Remember Chips Challenge where you like run around?
Yeah, I'll see if I can find it.
I think that came with that was like something else. That was in like a different pack.
That's right. You could get different tables. Chips.
Yeah. and Ski Free.
Oh
where
my
you
God,
go
Ski
down the
Free.
hill, and then at the bottom there's a monster. You know you can actually escape that monster. There's you press the F key or something and it goes extra fast.
Oh, look at this. Oh man, it's like Wolfenstein on crack. Remember this screensaver? This is some old school. Episode 2, Chips Challenge. All right, look at this. Oh man.
Oh yeah, dude.
I'm
That's tickling my nostalgia gene.
I am practically like bubbling right now with like straight up nostalgia. You know, the funny thing is,
Back in the day,
when it was really hard to make games, they didn't make shitty games. They made games either that. So this is one of these paradoxical things where like, I don't know if I like them because there was no alternative or if they were actually better games. I don't know. Oh, there it is. The Microsoft Entertainment Pack. Ah, that's what it was.
yes, that's it. MEP, the MEP.
Yep. This is
with Cruel, Golf, Minesweeper, Peg, Taipei, Tetris, Tick Tactics, and Idlewild with the first iteration of it. And I'm trying to see where the pinball came from.
Gotta love those. Oh, look at that. Oh, this is reminding me of the first computer that you and I had in the basement, Kay. The 486 DX4 from. Oh, baby. Look at that. Microsoft Windows compatible. Contains a 3.5-inch high density floppy disk. And look at how professional those computer graphics are. I'm I don't even know what to do with all that nostalgia. Wow. Tetris. Look at this. It says Tetris, a favorite from Russia. Oh, look at that Packard Bell. Matt Boyke had exactly that Packard Bell. That is insane. I don't even know what to do with all this nostalgia. Oh, this is.
Paul Walker was rocking in the gateways. We were all rocking the gateways.
Oh, wow. Look at that. Look at the entertainment. And apparently there were like 4. I think we got tired of piracy before then. Oh, look at Rodent's Revenge. Yes. I completely forgot about Rodent's Revenge.
Yeah, man, there was a lot of good stuff in there because back then there just weren't that many games.
Right.
Remember like waiting for like hours on end to get one thing downloaded?
Oh, yeah. I mean, I think the first time we ever actually downloaded a movie trailer was for the movie The Rock. And it was, super high resolution, was like, 280p.
Yeah, this pinball game came with Windows 95.
Yeah, that sounds about right. It was everywhere.
I believe you can play it on classicreload.com.
Well, and that's the crazy thing now. These crack games are like something you can open in a web browser on an iPhone, like easily.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, they're everywhere.
I mean, hell, here's all of Doom. Oh, my God. Doom on a TI-83. Oh, yes.
I wonder, like, what's the size of the binary on that? How much space can you fit on a TI-83?
This is like 200K. If you eliminated all the calculator stuff, you could actually get a little bit more.
So this is the Pinball Hall of Fame here.
Yep.
They had kind of every other machine turned off because of the COVID thing. But you could get them to turn one off and turn one on for you if you wanted to play that one. They would do it for you.
Okay.
And then, so there's like 5 different rows. It's nuts.
I'm trying to get Kevin's camera up. There we go.
So
okay.
Here's some more of the older ones. This is what it looks like outside. It looks like nothing.
I mean, it looks like
for the big yellow sign.
Yeah, it looks like every like shitty brick cinder building in Vegas.
See, so there's the brand new X-Men machine right there next to the Iron Man. That's pretty new too.
Huh.
There's an older machine.
Do they have like the oldest pinball?
In Seattle.
This was a weird machine. The Flintstones. I played it. It's got these like giant flippers on it, and then you hit this big boulder for a ball. Like, it was weird.
Huh.
Did it roll like a ball or did it roll like a boulder?
Yeah.
It rolled like a boulder.
So it wasn't perfectly spherical. It was like,
it had that. Yeah, some like indents on it and stuff. And then see, this is like his shop part of the place. Isaac played this bowling game.
I mean,
There's the old Star Trek arcade game.
Can you imagine if like
it'd be dangerous to have one of those? It would just suck away all your time.
I don't know. I mean, as ways to pass the time go, I feel like maybe my attention has gone to shit. Then again, I never had the attention span for video games. Like, never. but I sure did
You never
enjoy.
cared.
I just never cared. Like, if I died in the same place more than once, fuck it, I'm in the way.
Yeah, I mean, well, no, you were in for like Sonic 2. When we first got the Genesis, you were in for Sonic 2 for like a month or two, and then you were like, all right, I'm bored.
Well, I got in the closest I ever got to actually being into a game was Road Rash, because it was the only game I was ever good at, and it's probably because it wasn't a hard game.
That's right. I mean, it wasn't easy. Remember, like, Dad was better than us for the first, I don't know, maybe like the first 6 months, and then it was just like no looking back.
Well, I mean, that is true in so many arenas.
Right? I mean,
So
I guess
there's
that's
that
what
Terminator
it's like,
2 machine. It's got that gun right there on it.
Oh yeah, I've played the Terminator machine.
And here's another game that has a gun on it. Right here. Oh yeah, the Star Trek has the phaser gun.
Right. I wonder how much these actually cost. A client of mine who owns a car dealership has started buying like old arcade games, and I'm like, this is brilliant. This is absolutely the way to do it, because, you know, buying a car takes hours no matter what you do, and you fucking hate it. But if you think you hate it, your children will fucking murder you. So like, at the end of the day, it's kind of like damned if you do, damned if you don't. So I thought it was brilliant. He just basically bought these old school arcade games, and the kids go nuts for them. I love that.
Yeah. I want a service where I can rent like one arcade game, and almost like with Netflix, like old Netflix with the DVDs, I can just call them up whenever I want and be like, switch it out.
So this right
And
here
they'll
is
give
the
me another one.
multicade that plays like all kinds of different games. But then as you see, he's got Joust and Donkey Kong and like
Oh, he has like box arcade games too. No, I'm with you, Kay. Like, wouldn't that be cool? And like some guy named Rusty would show up and be like, Rusty's gotta switch out your game. You'd be like, yes, Rusty, go right ahead.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, Rusty's
and if
got
you
his
want
hand
if you
truck.
like it, you could keep it for like 2 months.
Right.
And there's those guys that build like the like emulator arcade decks. Those look fun.
I mean, the thing about emulator arcade decks is that like
this thing right here would show you an old Jack Dempsey fight, and it was a flip book. And so you put your dime in, and then it's like it shows you the flip book. It's like,
wow, that is some old shit.
Yeah, it was fucking cool.
You had to pay to watch a flip book?
From 1918.
I think even Thomas Edison would be like, fuck that shit. That's boring.
And like Jack Dempsey knocks a motherfucker out. I paid $0.25 for it.
Of course you did.
What did they call those things where it's got the like slits in it that Thomas Edison invented? You flip them?
You know, that came up last week on the show. And of course, the Gator's wife, who is actually a professional animator, immediately knew the name.
No shit.
Yeah, it's like a merry-go-round with slits in it. I know exactly what you mean.
Yeah. Like the original home movie.
Yeah, it's called a kinetoscope.
See, his Street Fighter had like some blue on it, so maybe it's like a collector's version.
Well, he is a collector, that's for sure.
Yeah. And so we got Scared Straight and all these old Williams games, whole bunch of Gottlieb games, and then a bunch of weird ones like Sega ones. Like, yeah, see, the GoldenEye machine is a Sega machine, and it also had a gun on it.
I wish they would have come out with GoldenEye for Sega. That would have been amazing.
Yeah.
So here's that machine.
We had to wait
it was
till
definitely
N64.
fun. Yeah, see, you got your P6 right there.
Walter PPK? Or is it-
PPK, yeah, there we go.
That's right. This gun holds 7 bullets.
I didn't even know they made a pinball. There's a Stargate pinball.
I really liked
Have you ever
Stargate.
tried? Yeah, it's good. I mean, we watched like 2 of those series.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Like, I'd say that was like what got me hardcore into Netflix. By the end, like, this was right when I started making money, right? I'm like, fuck it. Really? I can get 8 DVDs at once? Bring it on, motherfucker.
And then so he's got this whole row of 60s and 70s ones. Whole bunch of different ones. But they're all pretty much the same. They all just have a couple flippers.
Now, asking a hard question: are there strippers walking around handing out drinks
Yes.
at the pinball
Yes.
machine in Las Vegas?
No, but you can find those pretty much anywhere else.
Fun fact, prostitution is legal in Nevada everywhere aside from Paradise, which is the Strip. Paradise is its own little city.
But if you go to the Bellagio fountain at 11:15, you will find no less than 25 prostitutes ready to go.
So, okay, every time Paul and I go to Vegas, we play a game. The game is called Bought or Brought, meaning is she his wife or is she a hooker?
Yeah, and a lot of times you're right.
Or you ever play wife or daughter?
Oh God, no, because you don't want to know. Like at that point, you don't want to know. That is some Donald Trump creepy old man shit that he thought was edgy, but was really just fucking pedophilia and disgusting. But yes, bought or brought.
It stand into an eclipse.
Yeah. If you ever find yourself in Las Vegas, Nevada, do yourself a favor. Find a bar. Our favorite one was it's a brand new freaking incredible bar whose name is completely escaping me. And it has this perfect couch where like all this traffic, all this foot traffic would go through. And the game is bought or brought, and like consensus wins, majority rules. And oh my God, was it fun? Oh, it was so much fun.
It's a great idea. It's a social game. You don't actually have to confirm it. It's just what do my friends think?
Well, and so think about it. Even if you get busted playing this game, the prostitute knows she's a prostitute. You're not like, what are you gonna do? Like upset her? She'd be like, goddamn right, and fucking expensive too.
So anyway, if you're in Vegas, fully recommend the Pinball Arcade and donate to charity at the same time, which how cool is that?
Yep.
Good to know.
Hell yeah. And then so they say that the new building will be on the Strip and a lot bigger, 450 tables.
I mean, it's going to be a while.
We're setting it up now, so.
Right, and no one's going to see it until this COVID shit ends, unless they're like Kevin.
Yeah, pretty much. But there's a lot of people in Vegas anyway that are sort of ignoring this. And by the time it was Friday and there was that many people in town, I was like, yeah, it's time to go.
Good. Well,
I'm drawing the line right here. Some people are, some people are not. Most people are not.
That freaks me the fuck out.
But it's so big and spacious that you can distance and you'll probably be all right. And then they have hand sanitizer all over the place. Absolutely all over the place. And then they've taken banks of machines out in a lot of these places and replaced them with sinks so you can wash your hands and shit.
Well, that's because...
Wow.
Well, so here's the thing. Vegas will, they're
going to do anything they can to be open.
Anything they can. So, of course they are. This is not a surprise to me. Not even a little bit. They are falling all over themselves. If people don't start showing up, according to their predictions, believe me, they'll do even crazier shit. The only thing they can't do is nothing.
I mean, if it's anything that Vegas knows, it's flip the script. Get them, keep them locked in. Anything to keep them pumping them quarters.
Yeah. If only it was quarters. I think the world would be a better place if people only played quarter machines with actual quarters.
With quarters.
Because, that would take
you had to use the change.
That would take months to lose a real amount of money.
It used to take a long time.
Right. Well, they're like, fuck it. Let's speed it up. It's like Chuck E. Cheese on crack.
When I played, the service was slow as fuck. It's like, dude, get me a beer. I'm playing this fucking slot machine.
Kevin, what incentive do they have to be fast?
Deals with beer. I gave her $20, told her to come back faster.
Kevin, what incentive do they have? They have your money, and they know you're going to be playing that fucking machine until they come back.
But I gave the girl $20, and Kevin, I was like, dude, come back faster. No, it doesn't work that way.
That is the smallest amount that she probably received that night.
No, not at all. She wasn't getting tipped shit.
Well, I don't know. Maybe it's in the employment manual.
Out for COVID.
To me, $20 is a good tip, but
I'm sure it is, but
well, that depends on the service.
yeah, that's right. If you're tipping for a blowjob, way low.
That's just the tip.
If you go to those fountain ladies and you're like, "Hey, what can we get for 20?" It's not. You're not going to like the answer.
No, what she'll do is she'll expose her ankle and she'll be like, "All right, that'll be $20."
Yeah, check it out.
That would be some Victorian style porn. Ooh, ankles.
Ooh la la.
Ankle porn. Oh yeah, it's the good stuff.
I got some of that. My ankles are all jacked up and full of scars right now. Well, one of them is.
No, well, they may very well be for a while.
I could be some decent niche fetish.
Yeah, you should pose for scar porn.
Yeah, is that a thing?
I don't know. Find out.
Foot modeling job.
I don't know. You know what you should do? You should be like, I think that I would be a perfect model for the Americans with Disabilities Act. Although I am not disabled, I sure look fucked up from the knees down.
I'm all just covered in scars. They're like my tats.
That's right. Be like, I'm Edward Scissorlegs. How do you like them apples?
You tried to chop it off, but I kept it.
That's right.
All right, boys, I got to run. But happy show. Good to talk to you. Take care of you both.
All right. See ya.
Good to hear you, man.
Yeah, you too. Later, guys.
Later. Nostalgia.
Segway's going to stop making Segways?
My favorite factoid about Segways is that the owner of a Segway went off a cliff on a Segway, and that is, in fact, how he died.
Wow.
Sometimes you just can't write shit that is as good as the truth. Like, really, that is some stranger than fiction shit. What else you got?
Dell has a $50 billion stake in VMware?
Of course they do. You realize a lot of their money comes from software, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because a lot of their money comes from software, and like server farms, they have a huge stake in VMware because the vast majority of their real profit comes from servers, and the vast majority of the profit, or the only profit you can get from servers, comes from, that's right, folks, virtualization. That's how it works. I feel like I need to move this camera because I'm always having to look sideways. Either that, I think I'm going to take this monitor and I'm going to move it forward so I can actually be looking at the camera instead of a crazy person. Like, you know, I always feel like I'm like silhouetting on the side here, and it fucks me up. What do you got, Kevin?
Mac OS Big Sur coming out?
Yes. That is what I've been doing for the last 2 days, is learning about the new silicon and the little cross compatibilities and all that boring stuff between this, that, and the other.
Did you learn anything fun with the WCC?
The WCC?
Whatever.
You mean the water closet? Was it water closet? Is
WWDC, whatever the fuck
WDD, WWF, WB?
WWDC 2020 event.
WB. Yes.
Yeah.
They're going to move to an ARM architecture, and they're going to do it. Well, they claim it's going to be done in 2 years. What that means is that each of their computers is going to have a version. I mean, I'm making this up, but my guess is each of the computers, you know, the pro level and like the consumer level and the portable and the not portable, each of those four. So if you take, Steve Jobs did this at one point. He just took like a marker, divided it into quadrants, and he said pro, home, portable, desktop, and like that is the product line. So in 2 years, everything is going to essentially come down to that. It will have, there it is. It will have, my guess is by the end of 2022, they will have an ARM alternative, an ARM version for everything. But keep in mind, Intel's not going to go anywhere. It's going to be at least 5 years or so. And since the usual time is 5 to 8 years on just straight up cycling out of utility, it doesn't matter. Like, I would buy an Intel machine today because why the fuck wouldn't I? It's still going to be useful as hell.
Right.
You will undoubtedly hear I feel like I could do this top 10 off the top of my head.
All right.
Here we go. Number 1, they stole that from Android. Because that's what they say every time Apple comes out with something. First, Android does everything. Absolutely everything. There's no thought behind it. It's just throw it against the wall and see what sticks. So yes, everything is inevitably stolen from Android, except it works and it's presented in a coherent manner that is consistent across all of the devices. Something that Android has never done. Second, oh, well, that's not impressive. It's not the fastest thing. Yes, it is. At least within the framework, it sure is. Oh, well, I've got this brick that weighs 5 pounds that's got better battery life. That's fantastic. Keep your brick. Nobody's going to take it from you. I love it that people who like Android phones get pissed off at every Apple event, and people who have Apple devices go, oh, there was an Android event? I don't give a fuck. Like, seriously, why would you have a chip? Who cares? I have an Android phone. It's on my dining room table. I use it all the time. It's just fine. It's not what I carry, but who the fuck cares? At the end of the day, do what you do. People get so twisted about this shit, and I will never understand it. Anyway, what else you got, Kevin? Long pause as Kevin considers.
The 95-year-old Giant Dipper wooden roller coaster at Belmont Park, Mission Beach, California is the National Historic Landmark, but it, along with all of the other rides in the park, has been closed to riders since March. To keep it in good repair and ready for reopening, the coaster must run 12 times a day, and park mechanics discussing how reopening would help hit upon an idea. They're loaded the coaster's 24 seats with giant plush animals.
Yes.
From the park's Midway Game Stash Prize.
Yes.
People are loving it.
Of course they are. It's fucking stuffed animals riding a roller coaster.
Tons of pictures and videos that people have been posting online. Thomas said when the coaster reopens, he may keep the furry riders on board to help with social distancing. Very good.
Yeah, seriously. How could you possibly have any problem with that? As far as I'm concerned, that's the best idea you guys have had in a long time. Besides, you're tapping an untapped market. You've got furry people. They're going to be furry conventions, and they're going to be riding roller coasters, and they're going to be throwing orgies, and it's going to be spectacular. Like, why hadn't anybody thought of this before? The furry conventions are a massively untapped market for old-timey roller coasters. Plus, you always can be sure that people get their tetanus shots, because if not, they'll die. What else?
Whoa.
Man.
The Daily Star reports that a 30-year-old man turned up at Zhaoqing First People's Hospital in Guangdong, China on June 3rd, suffering from abdominal pain. Doctors performed a series of scans before discovering a freshwater fish.
Freshwater fish.
In the man's large intestine. The presence of which he explained by saying that he hadn't accidentally sat on it.
Oh!
Do you think I'm an idiot? One of the doctors said.
Oh, no, I know you're an idiot.
The spiny fins of the Mozambique tilapia had caused ruptures in the man's intestines.
No!
And had to be removed through the abdomen by surgery, but the man survived the ordeal and recovered.
This is why my girlfriend cannot watch my show.
Spiky fish.
I mean, you know, like, as spiky fish go, I mean, what are you going to do? Ugh. It's like those catfish that can like actually embed themselves in your urethra. Actually, I'm not quite sure which one is more disgusting. I'm going to go with the freshwater fish in the guy's fucking thorax.
Jesus.
By the way, people don't have thoraxes, but they should. It's thoracic. Anyway.
Several sailors of the Royal Navy found themselves over their heads on May 30th as their plan for a barbecue and beers got out of hand. A witness told The Sun they were smashed and hadn't bothered to watch for the tide. The Daily Star reported one partier became cut off from the group, and when another went out to rescue him, they both struggled. Emergency services had to be called in. One of the sailors had to be lifted off a cliff with a winch.
A wench? Would that be a really fat chick?
The Coast Guard confirmed. The Royal Navy expressed its regret that emergency services were needed, but they remain grateful with their help.
We are very sorry that all we have is this fat lady. Her name is Wench.
We need a winch.
We need a wench. I don't know. I mean, like, color me impressed.
Shawn Michelson, 41, told police in Jupiter, Florida that he was trying to be a cool father.
Oh no, that's usually how the bad shit starts.
When he let a friend's 12-year-old daughter drive his Jeep.
Oh boy.
Officer Craig Yoakum saw the Jeep make an illegal U-turn and speed away, the Associated Press reported, so he followed the vehicle as it hit speeds of 85 and a 45.
Mm-hmm.
The underage driver told Yoakum that Michelson, who admitted he had been drinking, told her to drive fast.
Oh boy.
He was arrested and being held in Palm Beach County Jail.
And
Florida man.
Wow, Florida man.
I just wanted to be cool.
Oh, Florida man. You never disappoint. Not even a little bit. Not even for a minute. I swear to God, we should actually just find an open webcam in like Miami or something and just watch it. Like spend 2 hours watching it and see what weird shit you just see on like
snakes, alligators.
Oh my God, like they're going to be at least 15 rednecks eaten by something. And it might actually just be the rednecks' wives.
Sharks.
Oh, it's fucking frightening.
Richland County, South Carolina sheriff's officers are searching for a man and a woman who held a Pizza Hut manager at gunpoint in Colombia.
Oh,
because they didn't receive their 2-liter bottle of Pepsi.
Really?
That they had ordered for delivery with their pie. The manager told the WIS couple entered the restaurant complaining about the delivery, then came behind the counter. As the man held out a gun, the woman removed a bottle of Pepsi from the cooler. Once the goods were in hand, the man put his gun away and they left the store. Jesus Christ. Give me that goddamn Pepsi or I'll shoot.
I mean, do we really have that low of a regard for human life? Apparently so. Wow. I don't even know what to say to that. That is just all kinds of crazy.
A tech startup called Champ Tracks has the novel solution for the problem of professional sports being played in empty stadiums. Jason Rubenstein of Kansas City, Missouri, said that his company Hear Me Cheer technology allows fans watching at home to enable a microphone on the phone or laptop as they watch the game. The sounds fans make will then be captured and aggregated into a single track for broadcast.
Uh-huh.
If you're alone in your room, what's the point of booing if no one can hear you? Rubenstein asked. ESPN featured Hear Me Cheer on June 9th boxing broadcast and during the NFL draft in April. And the company says it's in talks with other networks and sports leagues.
Mm-hmm.
Like it doesn't just sound like jumbled shit.
I don't know. I mean, do you remember the year that like the Vuvuzela became such a big deal? Remember that?
Uh-huh.
And like there was this insanely hard thing where like they actually ended up notch filtering. Like they came up with an active effect to get rid of these fucking Vuvuzela sounds, which is pretty impressive. I don't know. Good times were had by all.
Oh, yes.
Yes.
Did you want to do another hour or you want to take a break?
Yeah, I want to do another hour. Goddamn right. We haven't been on the air for 2 weeks, Kevin. This is unacceptable. I've like got so much piss and vinegar built up that like I don't even know what to do with myself.
We can come back with the whole new news of the weird I just went through last week's.
Uh-huh. Okay. The hard part is that I'm going to have to find a replay because the broadcast machine is not doing what it's supposed to. So it's really, really hard for me to try to get remoted in there. If you read one more, I can do my best to fix it, but it was being weird before we started. Do it.
Trump asked court to stop publication of tell-all by Mary Trump. Who is Mary? Is that his sister?
I don't know. I mean, the most recent tell-all had to do with his former national security advisor,
John Bolton.
Right, the guy with the mustache.
Oh yeah, I was gonna.
Hereafter, the walrus.
John Bolton.
Yeah, he's the walrus. The problem is he can't be laughed away as like some non-serious conservative, like, lightweight. This guy has real credibility. Now, is that going to affect anything about this election? No, of course not.
Oh, so Mary L. Trump is the granddaughter of Fred Trump Sr.
Your point?
Okay. President Trump's family is seeking a temporary restraining order to block publication of a tell-all book by the president's niece, Mary L. Trump. Miss Trump is the daughter of the president's late brother, Fred Trump Jr., and her book, Too Much and Never Enough, How My Family Created the World's Most Dangerous Man,
Okay.
is scheduled to be published by Simon & Schuster on July 28th. Mr. Trump's younger brother, Robert S. Trump, requested the restraining order on Tuesday in a filing in Queens Surrogate Court, where the estate of the president's father, Fred Sr., was settled.
Okay.
The filing names of Miss Trump and Simon & Schuster, and it seeks to stop publication on the grounds that Miss Trump is violating a non-disclosure agreement related to the settlement of the estate of Fred Trump Sr., the father of Donald and Robert Trump, and Mary Trump's grandfather.
I just can't think of anything else I care less about.
Officials at the Trump Organization declined to comment on the legal efforts to stop the book, which, described by the publisher on its website, is a revelatory, authoritative portrait of Donald J. Trump and the toxic family that made him.
Don't we already have a revelatory, like, I mean, come on. If you've yet to have some sort of reaction, you're not going to be reacting. Like, that's the part people always forget. Like,
Mrs. Trump's book will show that the dark history of their family in order to explain how her uncle became the man who threatens the world's health, economic security, and social fabric. Damn. In the book, Miss Trump, 55, is expected to say she was a chief source for the New York Times coverage of the president's finances and that she provided the newspaper with confidential tax documents. A spokesman for the Times declined to comment. Robert Trump said in a statement that he was deeply disappointed in his niece's decision. Oh, yeah, I'm sure. Her attempt to sensationalize and mischaracterize our family's relationship after all these years for her own financial gain is both a travesty and injustice to the memory of my late brother, Fred.
Don't talk about yourself that way. It's just
my
degrading.
late brother, Fred, who liked to keep all the black men out of his apartments, right? You know, he was such a great fucking guy.
Oh yeah, he was a stand-up dude.
Racist as fuck. I am the rest of my entire family are so proud of my wonderful brother and the president and feel that Mary's actions are truly a disgrace. Theodore J. Brotris Jr., a lawyer for Miss Trump, said that in a statement that the president and his family were trying to suppress a book that will discuss matters of the utmost public importance. They are pursuing this unlawful restraint because they do not want the public to know the truth. The courts will not tolerate this blatant violation of the federal First Amendment. Yeah, hell yeah. Adam Rothberg, spokesman for Simon Schuster, said that the attempt to prevent the book's publication would fail.
Okay, that's not how it works.
As the plaintiff and his attorney know well, the courts take a dim view of prior restraint, and this attempt to block publication will meet the same fate as those that have gone before. Yeah, bring it, Simon and Schuster. The book itself and the attempt to prevent it are appearing at only the latest chapter in the family tensions that have divided the Trumps for years. Mary Trump's father, Fred Trump Jr., turned his back on his own father's real estate business, becoming permanently estranged from him to work at the Trans World Airlines. He suffered from alcoholism and died in 1981 at the age of 42. When Fred Trump Sr. died in 1999, he cut out Fred Trump Jr.'s two children, Mary and her brother, Fred Trump III, from his will, leaving them only a small cash bequest.
Bequeathed.
Miss Trump and her brother contested the will sue and sued Donald Trump and his siblings, arguing that they poisoned Fred Trump Sr. against them and coerced them to change how he left his fortune. Dun, dun, dun.
Right. So what you're saying is they're being little bitches. All I heard was little bitch, let me in.
In 2001, Mary Trump and her brother settled a lawsuit. The exact terms were unknown, but the settlement did include a financial payment to them both. In the court filing Tuesday, Robert Trump wrote that the settlement also included a confidentiality agreement, barring Mrs. Trump from writing the type of book that she seems to have written.
Why would anyone intentionally sign something like that? You're not going to tell on us, are you? Because you'll be in big trouble if you tell on us. Come the fuck on. I seriously don't even understand that. I don't know. All right, more of ADHD radio. How do I say? Yes, right after this.
Reported, officers had to use a fingerprint scanner to properly identify Serena Henry, 48.
P.S. Not Beyonce.
Henry at first ignored police when they tried to pull her over, according to court documents, but they followed her home, where she got out of the car but refused to give them her name. She was charged with stealing the vehicle,
Nice.
concealing her identity, and resisting arrest.
Very nice.
I'm Beyonce, okay?
Beyonce, goddammit.
I sang just like her.
Oh, boy. Oh, boy.
What? I'm just too bootylicious for you police.
Said nobody ever.
Then she got tased.
And then she got tased.
Dun-dun-dun. Fuck you people arresting Beyonce.
How dare you arrest Beyonce? That includes fake Beyonce.
News of the Weird reported in July 2017 about Jeff Wrights of Huntington Beach, California, who at the time had just achieved a 2,000th visit to Disneyland in Anaheim.
Nice.
Since then, Wrights 47 continues his daily visits until March 13th,
Okay.
when Disney closed its theme parks in response to the COVID-19 outbreak.
Okay.
Wrights was just short of 3,000 visits.
Who cares?
The Orange County Register reported at 2,995. The streak's been ended, Wrights said. He does not plan to continue his consecutive streak when the park opens. On the negative side, I didn't choose the end, he said. But on the positive side, I didn't have to choose the end.
Uh-huh.
While he's practicing social isolation, Wrights plans to watch some movies on, you guessed it, Disney+.
Oh, boy. Oh, boy.
The streak is over.
You could call it that. I call it a fucking waste of a human life, but...
Went to Disneyland every single day.
I mean...
That's pretty badass.
You know what makes that...
If you like Disneyland, it's pretty amazing.
Well, no, what makes that badass is that...
I went for a couple days, I was done, but...
No, it's very simple. What makes that badass is that he's actually, like... He has the time. Like, doesn't this guy have a job or something?
I know, right? But maybe...
Maybe. Who knows?
Does marketing for Disney?
Maybe.
If you would go to Disneyland that much, you would hope that they would put you to work doing something, right?
You'd think. Like, you would think. I don't know. Color me, like, interested, but not really.
Just a few hours after Harris County, Texas, declared that all bars and nightclubs would have to close on March 16th, an anonymous diner at Irma's Southwest Restaurant in downtown Houston did her best to help out.
Okay.
The customer, who left a $9,400 tip, wrote on the receipt, "Hold tip to pay your guys for the next few weeks." Oh.
That's really sweet.
United Press International said Irma's will split the tip among the employees, giving them about $300 each.
That's pretty cool.
Which will get them like till, Thursday. But that's pretty cool.
No, that's straight up like, nope, I'm going to officially call that one gangster.
That's pretty awesome.
That's straight up great. Like
Anonymous Irma's Diner, good job.
Yeah, Anonymous Irma's Diner. Well done. Whoever.
Sage Aaron Cummings, 24, of Gallup, New Mexico. Oh no.
Why do we have so many of these?
We got 2 in New Mexico so far. Woke up in one recent morning and found that he had 2 TVs in his room that had not been there the day before.
Oh boy.
2 days later, he found an acquaintance was missing 2 TVs and put the 2 together.
Okay.
According to Gallup police, Cummings returned to the victim's apartment with the goods and approached an officer who was there investigating the burglary report. He told the officer he had been very intoxicated, quote unquote, when he knocked on the door that evening and then no one answered. He entered the home, but he didn't remember what happened after that.
Okay.
Cummins told police he wanted to make things right and return the stolen items, according to the Associated Press. Nevertheless, he was arrested and charged with receiving stolen property. What the fuck? He got drunk, he took the TVs, and then he took them back. Like, hey.
I mean, there are worse things in this world.
He doesn't need to go to jail. Come on.
I don't know. I mean,
They probably let him right out. Come on.
they should let him ride out, but oh my God, there's a fly in here. Did you leave the door open?
No.
Where the fuck did a fly get in? That's insane. Oh well, doesn't matter. Kevin writes in the tasting of the shrew. Kevin, my brother. The tasting of the shrew. I kind of like that.
Hell yeah.
Hell yes. But yeah, I like this has been, I've been thinking about this digital dollar since this article came across the news feed. So here's the neat part. The Federal Reserve banks themselves would also make available a digital dollar wallet to any U.S. person eligible for the payments as well. Additionally, the U.S. Postal Service would aim to help unbanked individuals and those without proper ID to establish their identity to be provided a digital dollar account, and would set up ATMs for customers to access their funds. Again, it is a magnificently smart way to cut through the bullshit. And anytime bullshit can be cut through, I'm a very big fan.
Bullshit.
Yep. So that's all I have to say about that.
I heard Carlos Mencia got the corona.
I mean, I feel like performers are particularly vulnerable since, you know.
He just stole it from another comedian.
Oh, for fuck's sake! I didn't realize that was a goddamn joke.
I think I actually did. I don't know. I could look it up.
I could look it up.
The internet is quite slow at this point.
I
click business, take forever.
No, that's just because CNN is slow. I've checked. I have done, like, incredibly verbose checks to be sure that everything was working. Our throughput is great. We have exactly 0 dropped frames. Like, we are going through perfectly at 1080, 1080p, 29.97 frames per second. Absolutely perfectly throughput. So, nope, that's not a thing.
New York State allows restaurants to sell takeout alcohol.
Woo, that's
with
clever.
Their food.
Really?
That's pretty cool.
That is way cool.
Go out, get the virus, but you can get a beer if you want.
I mean, if you're going to have end of days, like, can't we at least
get a beer?
Yeah, can we at least get a beer? Like, I feel like that's not too much to ask. Still trying to get
Gun
this
stores
right.
in LA have been declared a non-essential business. Whoa, they will not do that in Texas.
I just don't care.
My gun store is totally essential.
They're taking our guns.
He's coming to take our guns. That's right.
Here it is. Here it is. The rise and fall of Third Reich. Here's all this bullshit. Oh yeah, we're going to communism. It's a Republican goddamn president. Shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. And that's right, you guessed it. Shut the fuck up. Ugh. No one's taking your goddamn guns. No one gives a fuck about your goddamn guns. We have more important things to worry about than you and your fucking fucktard guns.
My gun, you ain't gonna take it.
Nobody cares.
I drink Corona, so I am totally clean on this.
Right. Whatever that means.
Corona kills the virus. That's what it does.
Uh-huh.
Corona and Mountain Dew, but you got to mix the two together.
Oh my God. What was the name of that Mike Judge movie where everybody, like, in the future is retarded?
Idiocracy.
Idiocracy. That sounds like something that you'd hear about from Idiocracy. God damn, that hurts.
Who was giving me a baseball?
Sorry, nothing I can do.
Baseball, 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 baseball.
The internet is nice and fast.
Put the baseball in the middle of the Google.
Nothing I can do, and I assure you, it's not the internet. The internet is kicking ass as we speak. This very moment, it's just straight up kicking ass.
Well, nobody uses Bing, right?
You could always use Bing.
Baseball, baseball.
Oh my God, this is an awesome story. All right, let me show, this one is just like fucking magical. All right, here we go. I love it. Okay. I love it. Okay. Check it out. Mobile networks in multiple countries. Let me get the reader view so people can actually see what's going on here. Mobile networks in multiple countries display stay-at-home message when users connect to cellular instead of Wi-Fi.
Oh, nice.
How fucking gangster is that?
That's kind of cool.
iPhone users in several countries who disconnect from Wi-Fi on their devices will see a stay-home message at the top of the control center where cellular network information is displayed. I want to know which countries. It's not going to be in the US, but like, I thought that was so cool. Like, that one just did it for me. I don't know why, but yeah. I thought it was way cool. Way cool. What you got, motherfucker?
New York is demanding ventilators.
Yeah. That's like one of those things. One of those things they do. I guess, Kevin, you got your Google back, right?
Climate adaptation, what it looks like from space. Oh, yeah, let's check that out.
All right, yeah, do it. Do it, do it, do it.
What it looks like
Climate,
from
wait,
space.
climate adaptation?
Oh, I should read that as Picard, huh?
Is this the
what
new...
it looks like from space.
Is this the new insanely politically correct term
When
for
everything
global
stops.
warming? Climate adaptation. It's not wrong. Again, Mother Earth will still be here. Like, it's still going to be here. It's not going anywhere. We could all die because, like, asphyxiating on our own greenhouse gases, and it wouldn't matter one iota. That bitch Mother Nature, she'll still be here. She's the little engine that could, and it doesn't matter. That bitch will take anything. Oh, you look at it's like some A-B pictures here. Let me fade that off so the peoples could see it. Now, if you look at your monitor, Kevin, you need to switch so that we can actually see the after picture. See, you need to scale. There we go. Getting there. There you go. So is this like, years apart?
Oh, no, like that one was 2 weeks.
Oh, okay. So this is actually coronavirus adaptation, if you want to think about it that way. That's interesting. I mean, there are a lot fewer people. Wow, look at the lack of boat wake. That is fascinating. That is fucking fascinating. Where is that, Rome? Or Rome is not a coastal city, is it? No, it's inland, I think. Where does it say? I can't see it. It's too small for me.
This is Italy.
Right. So which city?
Venice.
Venice. Okay. Venice makes a lot more sense than Rome. Yeah, Rome is like in the middle of Italy.
Startled to see that their canals and premier waterways be calmed. Without the usual human tumult of churning the waters, the canals were suddenly still and clear.
Surprise, surprise, motherfuckers. Mother Earth don't need us. She don't need no man. That's pretty cool. That is pretty goddamn cool.
Oh, this is the parking area January 6th. And then this is the parking area at
Okay,
Disney World.
I was about to say, you got to start with where these places are, because it's too small for the peoples to see.
That's Disney World.
That is fucking nuts. I've never actually looked at Disney World from, like, Google Earth. I've seen it from an airplane, and I thought that was so cool. But no, I've never actually seen it from Google Earth.
Oh, wow.
I love that, like, the lack of wake. Like, that's fascinating.
Yeah, it is.
The other part, I mean, I'm not sure exactly how these are perfect ABs. Am I right that the one on the right is after?
Yes.
Okay, so why are we seeing waves in the before, or no waves in the before, and then waves in the after?
Well, I think what they're trying to show is the people.
I know, but look at the waves.
Yeah.
That doesn't make sense to me. The waves should be unaffected unless there are boats, but there are no boats in before, and there are no boats in after. So that doesn't make any sense. That is fucking weird. I do not understand that. I guess it shall remain a mystery.
There's got to be better ones, but
still, though, that's fascinating. That is fascinating. Fascination, motherfucker. You just checking the times?
China cannot be sued over coronavirus? Yeah, well, no shit.
China can't be sued for anything. Like, that's not how lawsuits work. That is, like, straight up not a thing. Some people. Of course China can't be sued. It's goddamn China. China has better things to do than pay attention to your world where things matter, like, you know, whether or not you can get sued. It just doesn't work that way. What are you looking at? Let's see. Well, House calls for 14-day quarantine for all leaving New York.
Mm-hmm.
What else? I can't really read your screen, and I'm having to run other things.
U.S. retailers plan to stop paying rent over offset virus closures. Subway and Mattress Firm are among the chains pushing for rent relief.
I'm not sure how I feel about that. I can see it going both ways. How do you feel about it? Don't get me wrong. I'd love an excuse to not pay rent, but in this case, it doesn't feel responsible.
I think everybody shouldn't have to pay rent right now.
Okay.
I think there should just be a moratorium on it, and like.
Yeah, but it's not. I mean, so all right. Let me ask this differently.
At least for this month, just give it to us.
How do you feel about?
Or just tack it on to the end of some sort of mortgage payments or whatever.
Well, so mortgage isn't the same thing.
Like if you had a 30-year mortgage or whatever, you would just tack it
forget
another
mortgage
payment onto the end.
Mortgage and rent is not the same thing.
Well, no, yeah, I get it, but both of those things need to be paid by people.
So, okay, commercial leases would be a lot easier than residential leases,
Mm-hmm.
right? So, for example, I rent this house, right?
Mm-hmm.
And because I rent this house, I have a private contract between me and the person who owns the house.
Mm-hmm.
So it is a little bit different than like, you know, I'm not sure how the government, because of the contracts clause in the Constitution, I'm not sure how the U.S. government would handle that, you know, in an elegant fashion. There are some private contracts that can't really be done. Maybe an executive order could do it, but I'm just not sure. So, yeah, I don't know. Survey says solid maybe. What are you into now, Bloomberg?
Mm-hmm. It seems to be loading better.
I mean, I'm telling you, like, the internet is
Google.
fine. I have a completely separate switch. I've got an Edge router running now, as well as the Eros that is designed to do load balancing. Nothing is down. Like, one thing that I did this week was
One thing that I did this week was, you know, like all sorts of shit. All right, welcome back to half hour number, whatever the fuck this is, of ADHD Radio. My name is Video Vamp. Joining me in the studio, as always, is Chicken a la Miga the motherfucking fingers.
That is me.
Yes, and we're going to risk a copyright takedown for something that I hope is worth it.
That's so-called Ford.
Greg Federico, Dr. Dre, and
Nope, that's not what I wanted. Not what I wanted. I want jiggle mode. This is brand new.
down deep below the surface.
Yeah, I love it.
Deep below the surface.
Deep, deep down.
Thanks, Emily. I just go into jiggle mode.
Jiggle mode.
Deep below the surface. Down.
Let me turn the EQ on.
Universal, not enough for you. Try universal too. I have a huge
Yeah.
complication right in
Oh, yeah, give me that jiggle mode. Give me the chorus. Yeah, look at that.
why did he run away?
Oh, hey, we made it. Full access. Thanks, Emily. I just go into jiggle mode.
I love this.
Down deep.
Yeah, down deep. Way down deep. Down deep. Down deep. Down deep.
Tell me more about that.
Fucking love it.
The unoriginal Mac, you know shit's about to go down. We fix Siri.
Yeah.
That is all I
Yeah, I love it.
big props
Look at this.
presenter for
Wiggle mode. Wiggle mode. Give me the wiggle mode.
Full access. Thanks, Emily. I just go into jiggle mode. Down deep below the surface. Down deep below the surface.
Down deep.
Deep down inside. Deep, deep down inside. I'm sorry. I couldn't help it. Like, I had no choice. But
Wiggle, wiggle, jiggle.
wiggle, 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 wiggle. Hopefully that won't get us taken down. I don't give a fuck, honestly, if it does, because I think it's pretty awesome.
Massive Sahara Desert dust plume drifting towards the United States.
Mm-hmm.
A massive plume of dust from the Sahara Desert in northern Africa has been traversing the atmosphere thousands of feet above the tropical Atlantic Ocean and is now cloaking the Caribbean and closing in on southeastern United States.
Okay.
While summer dust plumes are a common occurrence, this appears to be one of the most extreme in recent memory. It's so large it's been nicknamed Gorilla.
Gorilla.
This is the most significant event of the past 50 years.
Oh, man.
Conditions are dangerous in many Caribbean islands,
Oh,
says
man,
Pablo
I hate it when
Mendez
conditions are
Lazaro.
dangerous in Caribbean islands. Oh, man. I don't even know what I would do.
On satellite images from space, dust typically appears somewhat subtle and faint, but this plume can be seen as clear as day. Oh, Jesus, look at that thing.
Yep. That is not a small amount of dust.
A picture below was taken on Sunday from the International Space Station. We flew over the Saharan dust plume today and in west central Atlantic. Amazing how large an area it covers, says Doug Hurley.
Doug Hurley.
These plumes of Saharan dust, termed Saharan air layer by meteorologists,
Uh-huh.
are whipped up by strong windstorms crossing the Sahara Desert. The dust enters the Atlantic Ocean near the Cape Verde Islands inside the intertropical convergence zone,
Uh-huh.
where tropical systems often get their start.
Oh, of course. He's going to go into comic book guy. We're tropical stimulants.
NOAA satellite
Satellites.
captures this series of animating images on Friday as the dust entered deeper
Deeper.
into the tropical Atlantic from Africa.
African deeper.
The Dutch hitches alongside trade winds, a belt to the east moving winds near the equator, which become firmly established during summertime.
Yeah, comic book guy.
The dust layer can extend from a few thousand feet to above the surface to 20,000 feet up.
That's a very high height. I don't know.
Wow, look at that shit.
That is not small.
See if it'll let us play the video.
I'm not playing the audio.
Whoa.
Dude, that's nuts.
It's just a GIF, but damn, that's crazy. While the dust masses often stay generally intact during their most of the transatlantic journey, they typically diffuse and are diluted by time as they reach the Caribbean. However, so far, this particular dust layer is defying the odds.
Defying the odds. It should definitely go play roulette.
Here's a series of photos taken at Puerto Rico. Oh, Jesus.
Mm-hmm.
Look at that shit. Look, the sky is like fucking done.
Yeah, that is a serious sandstorm.
Ooh, fuck. Ooh, Saharan dust in Puerto Rico. Jesus Christ.
Jesus Christ, that's a big dust storm. It's a big dust storm. Don't be getting stormy with you. You're gonna lose.
When
You're
the
gonna
dust
lose
is
against the
thick,
storm.
It makes for a very hazy yellow-brown skies. When the dust is rather faint, the refraction, and reflection of light can contribute to stunning sunrises and sunsets, which may help to at least partially explain Sunday's sunset in Miami. The sky is on fire, says Brian McNulty. Sure is, buddy.
Sure is, buddy. And that acid you took is definitely great.
The dust was so thick that Barbados Meteorological Services issued a severe dust haze warning, urging residents to take action due significantly reduced visibility and potential respiratory problems for people who experience difficulty breathing. NASA satellites measured the intensity of the dust clouds with a metric called the aerosol optical thickness.
Aerosol optical thickness.
This metric indicates to which aerosols prevent the transmission of light through the atmosphere. 0.01 indicates crystal clear skies. 0.4
Right, and those were definitely
with
not
very hazy conditions.
Yes.
And a 4 means the pollution is so dense that the sun cannot be seen in the middle of the day.
Dude,
On
could
Tuesday,
you imagine?
AOTs measured around 1.5 in the thickest of the dust mass near the islands of Hispaniola and Jamaica, restricting visibilities to less than a mile in parts of the Caribbean, making it for very unhealthy air quality, measured by the World Air Quality Index Project.
We actually had a health warning. Did you see that? We had a health warning, like an extreme weather advisory in Albuquerque. So keep in mind, our weather is extremely good.
And it's because of the Arizona wildfire,
Yes.
which is absolutely ginormous right now.
Right. But boy, does it make for some beautiful sunsets.
But I read that yesterday it was 42% contained. They might have some more percent by today.
42% contained. That's a D.
That's
That's a
better
fucking
than
F.
zero.
Oh, it's better than zero, no doubt.
The dust is also commonly known to be a hurricane killer. Anyone who has lived near a hurricane alley can tell you these dry, dusty layers subdue the moisture needed to feed the hurricane engine. Typically, when the thick dust layers are around, tropical activity remains quiet, and that is what is expected over the week. Well, that's nice. At least it stops the hurricanes.
You know, hurricane
It has
stopper.
many minerals in the dust, and it can cause hyperfertilization, contributing to algae blooms.
You know what else can cause hyperfertilization? COVID.
I was going to say Wilt Chamberlain, but yeah.
That's not a cause, that's an effect. Wilt Chamberlain, horniest man alive. All right.
All right.
All right.
The dust might be contributing to the warming of our atmosphere. In a study published in April, researchers found that the scientific climate models currently underestimate the amount of coarse dust in our atmosphere by 4 times.
Well, no shit. Turns out humans are really bad for the environment. Oh,
That's
and by the
because
way,
the models deposit dust over the atmosphere too quickly. The dust, they say, appears to have a net warming influence of our atmosphere.
I love it when people say that, like, we are, like, hurting Mother Earth. Mother Earth doesn't give a fuck about us. We're hurting ourselves. Mother Earth will be here long after we're dead.
But they're like, once the dust clears, prepare for the hurricanes.
Oh, yeah. You know, why not? Why the fuck not? I do not know. What else you got, motherfucker? Oh, he's looking.
North Korea reportedly threatens new round of the Korean War to end the U.S.
I don't care. Like, is it wrong that I don't care? Because I don't fucking care. Like, not even a little bit. I probably should care, but this just in, I don't care.
I want to hear what the rest of the headline was here.
All right, yeah, do it. What you got, motherfucker?
I don't know. The Post is being a bitch.
Yeah, it's probably because of all the script blockers.
Post is being a biatch.
I hate it when that Post is a biatch.
Where's the fucking story, Post?
You try reader mode. Sometimes that works. What the fucking waste.
Rocket Man.
Waste of time.
North Korea's embassy in Moscow has threatened to use its nation's nuclear weapons against the United States in what they claim would be a particularly sensational event.
Okay.
A Russian state-owned news agency reports. The reporting comes from the TASS news agency, a state-owned wire service known largely as a propaganda outlet of the Kremlin.
Yep.
Which claims the embassy sent them the threat in the form of a statement over the weekend.
Okay.
The agency quotes the embassy as stating, "This year, the U.S. military has been carrying out various kinds of military maneuvers in South Korea and its vicinity with the purpose of striking North Korea quickly."
Okay. All right.
Kim Jong-un supervises strike drill with a high-ranking officer. Check him out. He's like,
Why the fuck is he wearing a cold place hat? It is not cold in North Korea. It's never cold. This is some like Cold War weird shit.
maybe that's just his new hair after quarantine.
Oh my God. He got like the world's tightest fucking man. He got a do. He then had his barber put to death so no one else could steal his fucking do.
A new round of the Korean War will add a particularly sensational event to the history of mankind, which would put an end to another empire whose name is the United States.
We're trembling.
While the statement has not been reported elsewhere, it was released in the days ahead of the 70th anniversary of the start of the Korean War. The war began on June 25th, 1950, when Chinese and Soviet-backed forces from the north invaded the south. Within weeks, the U.S. engaged in the conflict on behalf of the South, arguing that it was the fight against communism on the international stage.
We've never heard that story before.
The Hermit Kingdom has been vocal in recent days about its efforts to go after the enemy of the South, using its own state-run news agency to announce it's amassing a pile of anti-South propaganda leaflets.
Okay.
As big as a mountain. Once it's completed, the mountain of propaganda leaflets denouncing South Koreans and defectors from the North, it plans to launch them across the border and scatter them all over the country.
Uh-huh.
It is a tit-for-tat move by the North, where the government officials have grown tired of anti-North leaflets being launched from the South into the country inside bottles and balloons by defectors.
Is it really propaganda if you're dropping it from a plane like it's 1949?
The practice of launching leaflets over the border had been utilized by North Korea defectors for years. South Korea's military, however, stopped sending leaflets over the border in 2010. Those groups of defectors are known to send along food, dollar bills, mini radios, USB sticks of South Korean news and dramas. Oh no, not South Korean dramas.
Sounds terrible.
It's probably BTS music. Okay. Last week, Kim Jong-un, the North Supreme Leader, permitted his sister Kim Yo-jong,
yeah,
to order a liaison office between the North and the South to be blown up.
I mean, seems a little excessive if you ask me.
The office has been operated with the South for the past 2 years. Kim Yo-jong described South Korea as the enemy when announcing the explosion, warning that the country would soon see the collapse of the useless office. I wonder if Dwight was in there. Dwight Schrute.
I'm actually watching The Office with Sage.
By exercising the power authorized by the Supreme Leader, our party, and the state, I give an instruction to the arms department in charge of the affairs with the enemy to decisively carry out the next action. Dun, dun, dun. North Korea.
Oh, we're so scared. Oh, so scared.
Threatening more shit.
Why don't you threaten us again? Oh, it makes our naughty parts tingle.
That's probably what Trump says. Oh, do it again.
Oh, do it again. I love it when you talk Kim Jong-ooey to me. Oh, I get so ooey gooey in my man trousers. Ew, I just grossed myself out a little there. Oh, gross. Ugh, ooey gooey in my man trousers. That is like very possibly the most disgusting thing I've said in recent history. Ugh, gross.
I already read about the Giant Dipper roller coaster.
Nobody cares about your freaking roller coaster, goddammit. Wow, this is like the shortest news of the weird. Apparently, COVID is not causing anyone to do stupid shit.
Well, there's not a new column for this week, is it? Okay, it says awesome. That's awesome.
Oh, it must be awesome.
The Boston Typewriter Orchestra
I love the Boston Typewriter Orchestra.
has been performing its unique brand of music throughout New England since 2004.
Yep, carriage
and will
returns.
now be releasing the first vinyl album later this summer. Self-proclaimed conductor Tim Devon and a group of his friends founded the ensemble as a joke, reports Ripley's Believe It or Not.
Believe it or not.
And after premiering at Boston's Art Festival and parking their cars in the yard,
fucking Harvard yard, with you queer?
the idea took off.
Oh.
Using vintage machines to rhythmically clack, roll, and spin and bang out music.
Oh, that's some good,
like
easy listening.
Bang out your sister every
like
night.
I bang out your sister. What are you, queer?
The typist musicians say different models produce different sounds.
Because they're normal to know that.
A Smith Corona Galaxy 12 has a power space function that makes a really nice metallic cling sound. Especially if you play it with other typewriters in a fucking symphony orchestra. Am I right?
Let me fucking tell you about the fucking symphony.
Am I right?
Oh, you're fucking right.
You jam that typewriter like nobody, Jimmy.
I play my typewriter with a baseball bat and a fucking meat cleaver.
You fucking do it, Jimmy, and fuck Mariano Rivera.
Let me fucking tell you. I can play a typewriter with the best of them.
Fuck A-Rod and his fucking steroid shit. You got a typewriter.
Fuck that noise.
You fucking fuck.
I'm the real fucking deal.
Park your car in the yard, sit down and listen to some shit.
Wow.
We're gonna play these typewriters, capiche?
Capiche? You get a problem?
It's kind of New York, Boston hybrid. I don't care.
What are you, fucking queer?
Fucking queer.
Fucking queer. I knew it. By the way, Boston is a very, very fine place. And every now and again, if you ever find someone who's mildly drunk and or having fun in Boston, it's a fucking refrigerator full of angry people. Like, that's what it is. It basically makes Philly look good on a cold day. P.S. Philly, please stop rioting. When your team wins, you riot. When they lose, you riot. Just do us all a favor. Don't riot. Coronavirus riot. Bad idea. What are you, fucking queer?
In Oakland, California's Grand Lake neighborhood, Gerald the Turkey has been an institution for some time, regularly queuing up with carpool riders near Morecambe Rose Garden. But lately, Gerald has grown grumpy and started attacking park visitors.
No, you don't say.
Prompting complaints to Oakland Animal Services. I swear I was getting flashbacks to the Velociraptor scenes in Jurassic Park.
Fucking Velociraptors. Let me tell you, those are some mean motherfuckers. They do not fuck around.
He was queuing at me and sizing me up, and I was like, fuck this, going back to
fuck
Boston.
That noise. I
don't need no turkeys.
I ain't no turkey.
Others said Gerald charged them clawing and pecking as they tried to run. In response, the city closed the Rose Garden at the end of May and asked people not to feed Gerald or any other wildlife, as it may have contributed to the male turkey becoming more aggressive, okay?
No, actually just being in Boston is what made it more aggressive.
Well, it's in Oakland, but...
It doesn't matter. It has the heart of a Bostonian.
Animal control officers are also trying to train him to revert to natural behaviors.
Right.
But have limited success keeping him socially distanced from humans.
How's that working for you, fucking queer?
Hey, wait till Thanksgiving comes around, Gerald. You gonna be a dick?
Let me just tell you.
You gonna be a dick?
I got a shotgun with your fucking name on it.
I'm gonna cook you in a Dutch oven.
Eat lead and my ass at the same time.
Oh shit, I might fry you.
Oh, I just farted.
Ever had fried turkey?
In my ass.
How about I just cut off your legs, cook those, and feed them to you, Gerald?
Fucking deep fried. I'll burn the fucking house down.
God damn, that hurts, Gerald.
Gerald,
Fucking dick.
come on, fucking dick. Man, I was just kidding. Why are you getting so upset? All I said was I was going to boil your gonads.
Kahlua, an infamous alcoholic monkey in Kanpur, India.
I love that there's an infamous one, meaning of all the alcoholic monkeys, this motherfucker's the worst.
Has been sentenced to live out his days in isolation, Gulf News reported.
Oh, wow.
The animal once belonged to a local occultist who would give him alcohol. After the owner died, Kahlua couldn't get his fix and became aggressive, sneaking his teeth into more than 250 people, one of whom had died of his wounds. The Kanpur Zoo took Kahlua in, trying to acclimate him to captivity and other monkeys, but zoo workers are throwing in the towel.
I love that his name is a fucking liqueur. Like,
It has
that's
been
perfect.
3 years since he was brought here. He will remain in captivity all his life.
We must gas the monkey. It is the last solution.
Solitary captivity. I'm not
Wow.
giving him booze. Did you give him booze? I told you not to give him any more fucking booze, Hanjay. You fucking dick. You're just enabling him.
I have a feeling that the janitor was like secretly handing this motherfucker vodka every night.
Did you know he killed someone? He killed someone. That monkey, he killed someone.
That monkey could be your son.
And what
could
do
be
you
your
do?
brother. What do you do?
You give him Bud Light Seltzer.
Give him fucking more booze.
You give him that Bud Light Seltzer, you
How
fucking
dare
dickwad.
you?
I know it's not very strong, but he still gets more drunk.
That's that white chick. What's the carbonated alcoholic drink? White Claw.
Yeah, it's
fucking White Claw.
he likes that too.
It fucks him up. Just give him a couple lines and a case of White Claw, and he'll have 800 bitches out here shaking their asses.
Kahlua really likes White Russians.
Oh,
Very
boy.
expensive to try to keep milk around here.
Oh boy.
We don't just keep milk on hand. I mean, come on, you fucker.
This is India. It's fucking 115 at
Drink
night.
the Kahlua straight like everyone else.
Drink it like a man.
In April, following the cancellation of Basketball Madness,
Uh-huh.
a Twitter account called March Madness
Uh-huh.
of Flags was launched for the love of vexillology, pitting
Whatever the
banners
fuck
from
that
all
is.
over the world against one another in a fearsome bracket to determine which one has the coolest flag. During the Final Four, held over the weekend in June 13th through the 14th, the St. Louis, Missouri flag beat the Stuttgart's entry and went to clinch the championship in a commanding 625-49 victory over the Standard from Yaroslav Oblast, a Russian federal district of North Moscow.
I'm pretty sure that's not how you pronounce that, but
Yaroslav Oblast.
yeah, close enough.
That's pretty good.
It's pretty nice.
The St. Louis Post-Dispatch reported the city's flag, a relative newcomer, was designed by Yale University art professor Theodore Sizer and adopted in 1964 for the city's bicentennial.
Not to be out white guyed.
My flag's better than your flag, you Russian dick.
What are you, fucking queer? I'll fucking eat your gonads after I deep fry them in my own fucking jizz.
Fuck you and Kim Jong-un,
Fuck
fucking
you.
dick.
Fuck you,
I'm gonna
commie
send this
shit.
drunken monkey to fucking Moscow.
Let
and
me tell you-
guys can fucking deal with him, okay?
I'm gonna make a fucking boxer out of this monkey. He's gonna fucking win. Fuck you. And with that, I think we're gonna wrap it up for ADHD Radio this week.
I'm gonna see if there's anything else good here.
All right, you got 2 minutes. Cue the Jeopardy music.
Seniors from Glens Falls High School near Tulsa, Oklahoma, pulled a classic prank on what would have been the last day of their high school career.
Uh-huh.
On June 12th, they hung a large sign from the school saying, "For sale, vacant since March."
Oh, man. See, I thought they were going to, like, throw an orgy with, like, socially distanced orgy. I love
2 full-size gyms, swimming pool.
Dude, I hope they got, like, some bids, because that would just be priceless.
Principal Tammy Silvernail could hardly be mad. Attached to the back of the sign was a letter from the students she characterized as the most polite pranksters ever. This was all in good fun. We hope we have made you laugh and miss us a little more. Thank you for an amazing 4 years at GFHS.
We look forward to committing some real estate fraud, and we definitely have taken a few deposits against the school.
The
All
students
right.
also offered to remove the sign and included a phone number to call. Oh, you fucking millennials.
Okay.
Seriously. Do a real prank.
Can't you do it right?
Fucking ball sacks.
Right when you had some fucking sack. Right when you had the sack. You fucking apologized and set it down. The fuck is wrong with you?
Associated Press reported that an unarmed man in Vienna, Australia, was hit with a €500 fine for offending public decency when he broke wind following an encounter with police.
I fucking fought in front of the cops all the time.
Authorities said that, of course, no one is reported for accidentally letting one go, but after behaving provocatively and uncooperatively, the man rose from a bench to let go a massive intestinal wind, apparently with full intent. And our colleagues don't like to be farted at.
I'm sorry. Premeditated farts, not a thing.
Fart at me, motherfucker. Send you to jail.
Seriously? Like,
Did you fart on purpose? Was that on purpose?
did you mean to rip your ass? Because your ass was ripped. No two ways about it. Your ass was ripped.
Oh, God. Oh, God. Where's my N95 mask?
Ugh.
Oh, Jesus. It's getting into the mask.
Fucking Earl. God damn it. I got fucking kids. What are you, a fucking animal?
Something tells me the officer's lapel camera photo malfunctioned after he got farted in the face.
Yeah, and he probably ended up shooting 6 black guys about it.
It was Australia, so you
Oh, I'm sorry. Is
maybe.
it too soon? No, he shot us. He shot what are they called? God damn it, the native people of Australia. By the way,
Aborigines.
Thank you. Making fun of racists does not make us racist. By the way.
No.
Yes, I think that I'm safely on like proper footing here. Like, making fun of racists makes you, like, you know, a solid stand-up dude. He's a righteous dude.
Saying that extra precautions are justifiable and understandable where president is concerned. Russian spokesman Dmitry Peskov told reporters that anyone meeting Vladimir Putin at his house outside Moscow or in Kremlin must pass through a disinfection tunnel that showers
I heard about this.
Visitors with a disinfecting aerosol.
We just
and a
poured
bath
bleach
of
on you.
ultraviolet light. The Guardian reported on June 17 that tunnels can also use facial recognition software and take visitor temperature. They were installed when epidemic was in full swing. But we're going to keep them forever now.
We kind of like them.
We kind of like them.
Putin says his guests, they smell much better. All right, that'll do it for ADHD Mega Motherfucking Radio. We do this show every Tuesday from 4 to 6 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. That is sometime to sometime. Fuck you, dog time.
Oh man, the guy who was the puppeteer for the Gopher in Caddyshack.
Yeah.
He died
Of COVID.
It doesn't say that.
I made that up.
But he also helped be a puppeteer for Team America and Lamb Chops Play Along. R.I.P. Pat Brymer. You were a great guy, man.
How much Valium does it take to, like, be a part of Lamb Chops Play Along?
Probably a lot.
Yeah.
Or just get drunk with that monkey before.
Dude, that monkey, fucking good times. I gotta say, I miss that crew. He made bitches crazy.
You are great, monkey. We love you.
You're such a great monkey.
Only you kill people, so we don't really.
We don't actually
love
fault
you,
you
really.
because, like, you know.
Putin killed thousands. Bring on the monkey.
Putin kills like 500 people, like, you know, when he gets
Yesterday,
pissed.
at lunch.
He's like, you know, I feel like killing journalists today. Yeah, let's do it. All right, we're out. Pick it a piece, motherfuckers.